Welcome back, Nerd Squad, the Top 10 Nerd. I'm your host, Johnny Rogers, and if you happen to be new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. That way you never miss out on all things nerd. Plus, comment down below with your thoughts on Tony Stark. Do you love him, or does he annoy you? That aside, let's get into today's list, the top 10 superheroes that annoy Iron Man. In at number 10, the Hulk. As brilliant and as valuable as Bruce Banner is to the team, being friends with him does have its downfalls. Aside from the genius not being able to make decisions sometimes or not being able to channel the Hulk when he needs him the most, the unpredictability of the Hulk is too much for Tony. For the most part, Banner keeps the Hulk under control, but he's been manipulated in the past by Loki and the Scarlet Witch to wreak havoc. These occurrences have forced Iron Man to shut him down to protect those around the uncontrollable Hulk.
Go to sleep, go to sleep.
In at number 9, Ant-Man. Although they never officially met in the traditional sense, Stark and Scott got real close when Ant-Man decided to jump into his suit, attempting to disassemble it from the inside.
Oh, you're gonna have to take this into the shop.
Who's speaking?
It's your conscience. We don't talk a lot these days.
After that, he then grew to 60 feet and began tossing Tony's BFF Rhodey around like a rag doll. Not to mention Scott Lang is a former criminal and was just on house arrest. Not exactly the type that would be schmoozing with Iron Man.
Hank Pym always said you never can trust a Stark.
Who are you?
Come on, man.
At number 8, we have Thor. Now, these two definitely don't hate each other, but you could tell that Thor annoyed Tony when he challenged him at a dinner party to lift his hammer, knowing full well that he wouldn't be able to do it. Iron Man is naturally going to be annoyed by any other egos in the room, so as a result, these two have bumped heads a few times. Not to mention Thor's adopted brother Loki has threatened Tony on more than one occasion. In at number 7, Deadpool. You'd be searching for a long time if you tried to look for a superhero that isn't annoyed by Deadpool. As a comic book fanboy, this must be tough for Wade Wilson, and after attempting to join the X-Men and the Avengers, they both have deemed him just too much of a loose cannon. He even tried to be more formal by sending a letter requesting to be part of the Avengers, but it's obvious that Tony doesn't want any of that. Tony even answering with the words, "Absolutely not, go bother Professor X." It perfectly sums up just how annoying he finds Wade Wilson. At number 6, we have Doctor Strange. Stark normally doesn't take issue with certain heroes matching his wit and intelligence, as seen by his comic book counterparts' interactions with Reed Richards. However, lock him in a foreign spaceship with Doctor Strange and put the fate of the universe at stake and he couldn't be more annoyed. Things got really heated between the two when Iron Man wanted Doctor Strange to thank him for coming to his rescue, but Stephen's inability to do so really annoyed Tony. Plus, him just giving up the time stone was the last straw in Stark's eyes.
Should have ducked out when I told you to. I tried to bench you, you refused.
Unlike everyone else in your life, I don't work for you.
And due to that fact, we're now in a flying donut, billions of miles from Earth with no backup.
I'm back up.
No.
At number 5, we have Drax. Although meeting and working together briefly, it's clear to see just how annoyed Tony is by Drax. In Avengers Infinity War, he referred to him as Mr. Clean when Drax was not paying any attention to Tony's trying to lay out a plan to beat Thanos. He took an immediate dislike to Drax when he looked over and just saw the Guardians of the Galaxy warrior yawning. The only reason why the two were working together in the first place was Drax had already been seeking revenge against the Mad Titan. The look of dread and annoyance on Stark's face upon realizing that Drax and the Guardians of the Galaxy were his only hope just says it all.
Are you yawning in the middle of this while I'm breaking it down? Huh? Did you hear what I said?
Stop listening after you said we need a plan.
Okay, Mr. Clean's on his own.
Number 4, Star-Lord. Combining Tony's already built up annoyance with the Guardians of the Galaxy and his hatred for competing egos, Star-Lord takes the cake for annoying Tony. Besides their squabbling right out of the gate upon meeting, Star-Lord really annoyed Tony in the fight with Thanos. First, he undermined Stark's plans to take him down, and then while it looks like they will finally get the Infinity Gauntlet, in comes Peter Quill to ruin it all. Sure, he was upset that Thanos sacrificed Gamora, but man did that anger Tony. Especially with his protege Peter Parker getting dusted as a result of Quill's inability to just follow orders.
Don't call us plucky. We don't know what it means.
all right? We're optimistic, yes. I like your plan, except it sucks, so let me do the plan, and that way it might be really good.
In at number 3, Hawkeye. Clint became a real thorn in Tony's side when he decided to fight with Captain America during the events of Civil War that saw the Avengers being torn apart. As a result, Hawkeye attempted to take down a number of Stark's allies and even shot Ant-Man right into his Iron Man suit just to mess with him. This isn't the first time either that Hawkeye has been a problem for Tony. If you can recall, Loki took over his mind and used him like a lethal puppet to do his bidding. Although with now half the population decimated and having not seen each other since Civil War, let's hope Tony can stand him long enough to beat Thanos, or at least be rescued.
The futurist is here. He sees all. He knows what's best for you, whether you like it or not.
At number 2, we have Bucky. Tony Stark can't help but hold resentment towards Bucky Barnes after watching that surveillance footage of the Winter Soldier causing the accident that took the lives of Tony's parents in 1991. I mean, you can't really blame him for being annoyed by Bucky there. Even though Barnes was mainly doing these actions against his will and under the mind control of Hydra, Stark just can't let it go. Nor should he, and nor did he when we saw him blast off Bucky's powerful metal prosthetic arm. It felt like perfect on-screen karma. Lastly, at our number 1 spot, Captain America. Since the first time they met, Cap and Tony never saw eye to eye. Tony is annoyed by Steve because his father praised him more than his own son, at least in his eyes. Iron Man saw himself as the first and most important member of the Avengers until the Boy Scout known as Captain America was thawed out. Any good standings between the two were interrupted when Steve Rogers refused to adhere to the Sokovia Accords. Add in him protecting the man that killed Stark's parents and the fact that he almost took Iron Man out in hand-to-hand combat, you're left with a hero that annoys Iron Man the most.
Make me. Yeah. Big man in a suit of armor. Take that off. What are you? Genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist.
And that has been the top 10 superheroes that annoy Iron Man. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, then smash that like button. Plus, comment down below with your thoughts on this list. And for any more videos like this one, all you gotta do is click that playlist on your screen. From Top 10 Nerd, I'm Johnny Rogers. Until next time, take care.